Let's talk about a threat that could make every single piece of secure data your AI depends on, well, completely useless. It sounds like something out of a movie, right? But it's very real. Today, we are diving deep into how to build what's called a quantum-resistant data vault to protect your most valuable AI assets. And we're basing all of this on the groundbreaking work of Dr. Vernette Grant.
And Dr. Grant kicks things off with a line that, wow, it should really make you sit up and listen. This isn't just some abstract, far-off idea about future-proofing. It's about a vulnerability that's sitting in your systems right now. The clock is absolutely ticking.
So, what's the actual problem today? Well, while we're all heads down, racing to build the next great AI, our adversaries are playing a different game. They're not even trying to break our defenses today. Nope, they're just quietly stealing our encrypted data and waiting. They are betting on a future where they'll hold the master key to unlock everything we've ever built. That makes what we do right now so incredibly critical.
And this gets us to the heart of the threat. It has a name: harvest now, decrypt later. Just think about that for a second. Nation-state actors are literally siphoning off unimaginable amounts of encrypted data. Your company's secret sauce, your customer lists, your AI training sets, they can't read it yet. But they're stockpiling it, just waiting for the day their quantum computers come online and crack it all wide open.
And this, right here, lays out the stark reality. See, the encryption standards we all trust, things like RSA and DCC, are basically complex math problems. They're too hard for our current computers to solve. But here's the kicker. There's a specific quantum algorithm, Shor's algorithm, that is perfectly designed to solve those exact problems and solve them easily. It's not a guess, it's a mathematical certainty. Which means your most valuable intellectual property, those AI model weights, are basically sitting out in the open. Okay, so that's the scale of the problem, and yeah, it is massive. But here's the good news. It's not unsolvable. Dr. Grant's work gives us a really clear blueprint for the solution. It's called the Post-Quantum Data Vault. So let's get into how you actually build this digital fortress. The whole foundation of this vault is built on a totally new kind of math. We have to move away from those old vulnerable standards. The new global standards approved by NIST are built on something called lattice-based cryptography. You can think of it like this. We're creating a security problem that's so ridiculously complex, like finding one specific needle in an infinite, multi-dimensional haystack, that even a powerful quantum computer just throws its hands up. And that's the genius behind Crystal's Kyber for encryption and Crystal's Dilithium for digital signatures. Now, Dr. Grant breaks this down into 3 really clear, manageable steps. First, you have to formally adopt these new standards. Second, you integrate them. And I mean everywhere, your cloud, your servers, all across your networks. And then, finally, once that foundation is in place, you build the vault. But a true quantum vault, it's so much more than just new math. It's a complete security philosophy. Dr. Grant really emphasizes things like physical isolation whenever possible and building a zero-trust network. That basically means you trust nothing and you verify everything. You assume any user, any device could be a threat. You apply this new encryption to your data when it's just sitting there and when it's moving around. The whole goal here is to build a fortress with ironclad access controls and absolutely zero cracks for an adversary to stick a crowbar in. Okay, so we've got the blueprint for the vault. Now let's talk about where it matters most. The most vulnerable part of any AI operation is the training pipeline itself. You know, this is where all the magic happens, which also means it's where your data is most at risk. And this just illustrates the point perfectly. We have to weave these post-quantum security layers into every single step of the MLOps lifecycle, from the moment the raw data comes in the door, through pre-processing, training, checkpointing, all the way to final deployment. Every single one of these stages is a potential point of failure if you don't secure it properly. So, how do you actually protect the model while it's being built? Well, according to Dr. Grant's framework, this is where specialized hardware is an absolute must. Hardware security modules, or HSMs, are kind of like fortified digital notaries. By using HSMs that are updated with these new quantum-resistant algorithms, you can digitally sign your model checkpoints. It creates a verifiable, tamper-proof chain of custody. It's really the only way you can be 100% sure that your model hasn't been secretly messed with mid-process. And finally, we get to the crown jewels, the finished model weights themselves. The solution that Dr. Grant puts forward is brilliant. Wrap them in what she calls a quantum-resistant cryptographic shell. The best analogy is a digital armored car for your intellectual property. This protective layer makes sure that even if your model gets stolen or intercepted on its way to, say, an edge device or a partner system, all the thief gets is a useless, scrambled block of data they can never open. Now, this is where the conversation shifts and gets really, really interesting. Because all of this isn't just about playing defense. This is about long-term business strategy. When you build this kind of protection, you are creating an incredible competitive advantage, a real moat around your business. Of course, almost every company is sitting on huge mountains of older data that's already at risk. The process for dealing with this is methodical. First, you have to identify all those vulnerable archives. Then, you re-encrypt them with the new quantum-safe algorithms. After that, you migrate that freshly secured data into your quantum vault. And finally, you have to remove the old, broken security for good. It's a systematic way to turn a huge liability into a protected asset.
And that brings us to the ultimate strategic takeaway. For years, we've all been saying data is the new oil. Well, going forward, that's only half right. The real currency, the thing that will define market leaders, won't just be having data. It will be the proven ability to secure that data. In a quantum world, only the companies who can prove their vault is unbreakable are going to win. This timeline just puts it all into perfect perspective. The amazing innovations your teams are building right now, in 2026, are the very things being harvested today. A few years from now, adversaries will still be collecting it all. And then, in the 2030s, quantum decryption starts to become a reality. The work you do today directly determines if your company's IP survives the next decade. So let's just be crystal clear about this. Becoming a quantum-ready enterprise is not just another item on the IT department's to-do list. As Dr. Grant lays out, for any CTO, any CISO, any lead AI researcher, this is now a core strategic imperative. It's about survival and it's about market dominance. And that transition has to start now. And that brings us to the final, critical question, the one Dr. Grant's work forces every single one of us to ask. It's not about whether your AI is cool and innovative today. The real question is, have you built it with the foresight to survive tomorrow? Is your AI truly built to last?